Christian warriors, set yourselves apart from this corrupt generation. Be saints. And that is the freedom that I wish for you. Freedom from sin. Freedom from our weaknesses. Freedom from the slavery that sin makes out of all of us. That is the freedom that is worth dying for. Kind of reminds me of the words that Mel Gibson first intoned in his Academy Award-winning film Braveheart, when he said to his ragtag army, and I say to you tonight, I see before me a whole army of my countrymen here in defiance of tyranny. You've come to fight as free men, and free men you are. What will you do without freedom? Will you fight? No! Yep, fight you may die. Run and you'll live. For at least a while. Dying in your beds many years from now, would you have been willing to trade all the years from this day to that for one chance? Just one chance to come back here and tell our enemies that you can take our lives, you can never take our freedom. Every man dies. Not every man truly lives. You, we must fight for that authentic freedom and live, my friends. By God we must live, and with the Holy Spirit as your shield and Christ as your sword, may you join Saint Michael and all the angels in defending God and sending Lucifer and his henchmen straight right back to hell where they belong. Storm is upon us.
Good evening. What a powerful video, huh? From iDrop Media. Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I do that at work too.
I'm like turning up my speakers and then it went really loud. No. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the place where we like to ask questions worth pondering. That was a powerful video. I have to give credit to iDrop Media because I steal their videos all the time. They're pretty awesome. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Who do we have here? We've got Mike and Herbie and Kari and Magnolia. Hey, guys. It's good to see you. I love that I can see Rumble chats now so easily.
Right?
So, yeah, we didn't know what we were actually going to talk about tonight. And then I thought Moxie wasn't going to make it. So I'm like, I guess we'll talk about the eclipse. Last minute, I'm like, last minute, let's just talk about the eclipse and all the stuff tied to it. So there's going to be a total solar eclipse on April 8th. So it's just a few days away. What a better time to talk about that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But before we do, is there any like current events or anything you want to like? I know we've got primaries tonight. Do we need to keep an eye on those?
I'm not too worried about them. As I was driving past the airport today, I got a notification that Trump was landing here at our airport.
That's pretty cool. And you didn't get a chance to go see him?
No, I'm not going out in this weather. Okay, so everything today that has happened has been trying to keep me from being here tonight. I woke up sick.
Yeah.
And then I went to work and I intended to come home at 9 o'clock this morning and that didn't happen. because I was waiting around on someone who's afraid of the snow over the next couple days. So she was wanting to come in and do her things, and that didn't happen until 3 o'clock.
Oh,
So then the snow started. Getting home was a pain in the butt. And on the way home, I decided to stop and vote because I was already on the road and I didn't want to go back out.
yeah.
My car was covered in the 7 minutes it took me to go inside, register, vote, and leave.
Well, at least you got to go vote, so that's good. That's really good.
Kind of crossing my fingers that Trump was going to make an appearance at my polling station, but he didn't.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Tiny little cat.
I wonder where he showed up. So I've been showing everybody's hellos. We've got Rocker Lady and Pocket Friend with us too. So so nice to see you guys. So the eclipse is coming up, and there's been a lot of news around the eclipse. Maybe we should talk about like all the fear mongering first. Should we?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me get my screen sharing ready here. There we go.
Quiet, Kari.
What's that?
I was telling Kari to be quiet. She said it was completely sunny there today.
Completely sunny. So the weather here is super strange because, well, it's spring, you know. We had these big, huge winter wonderland snowflakes this morning, then it rained, and now there's green grass out there. So it's just kind of strange. All right. Let's talk about all the fear porn, shall we?
Yes.
All right. So, whoops. What happened? Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. I clicked the wrong thing. All right. Sorry about that. I've got that to show too. All right. So, Niagara Falls declared a state of emergency because the eclipse is coming, right? And they're not the only ones. So we've got a couple of places in New York as well. So this is Canada's side of Niagara Falls, but also in New York. And in Ohio, the governor there signs an executive order ahead of a total solar eclipse to prepare for the solar eclipse. He had to sign an executive order for that.
What exactly are we preparing for, though?
The safety and well-being of Ohioans. So here's the thing. So somebody in my chat said, and I don't remember who it was, and but somebody in my chat said, hey, I've been in a solar eclipse before, and there's a lot of people, and it's a huge event. I get that. Like the Super Bowl is a huge event, you know, and there's a lot of security. The Olympics is a big event. There's a lot of security, but why are they doing state of emergencies?
I remember back in 4th grade, there was an eclipse and we made a box with a little hole in it and we watched the eclipse through the little hole.
Yeah. Yeah, the state of New York is preparing. It's funny. I've got more fear porn here. Let's see. Well, we talked about Niagara Falls, and then there's just other fear porn going on, like this full list of why and where these warnings are issued. So there's solar eclipse 2024 warnings. Here's what you need to know ahead of April 8th. You know, I'm not going to be reading these articles because I have a lot more interesting things to get to, but I thought this would be a good way to start it. So let's see. I'm just looking at comments. So I read that some prison somewhere is total lockdown for the eclipse. Where are the inmates going? What? Well, they'd be locked down, so that means they would be inside the prison. Yeah.
They're going nowhere.
And Kari says it's a state of emergency declaration that should be the concern. Isn't that true? Yeah. And then Rocker Lady said, I was stranded for over 6 hours in, I don't know what RHRB is, in the middle of nowhere in Oregon. Interesting. Was that during the last eclipse, Rocker Lady? People were stranded without gas, water, or food? Really? Wow. That's crazy. They also, and then in Texas too. Same thing. Oops, I have to remove the comment there. So Texas is issuing a disaster declaration. Disaster declaration? So I get they want to prepare, but why are they calling it emergency disaster declaration? And then they've got news articles talking about cell phone warnings. Is your cell phone going to go out? So Rocker Lady says, yes, that was the last eclipse. So yes, we should be prepared for those things. Towns were stripped for resources, and it took a week to get resources just because of an eclipse. Why would that be? Man, are you online? Do you want to come on our show, Rocker Lady, and talk about that? Let me know if you want to. I'll send you a link to come on here with us if you want to chat about that. So, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to point out that they're doing all of this. Let's see. Also, we never issued lockdowns for anything like this or anything that wasn't an actual emergency. Yeah, that's what's confusing to me.
Kari used to be a CO, a corrections officer.
Oh, I'm like, what's a CO? You know what? You just ask Carrie. Acronyms are like one of my biggest pet peeves because I don't know what acronyms mean unless I'm saying them every day, like at work. We have a lot of acronyms.
They annoy me too. I actually broke up with a guy because he used too many acronyms, and I was tired of looking them up.
That's hilarious.
What they were.
I'm on the DL with the A.
Do this.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you'd love to, Rocker Lady? Wait, who's Rocker Lady now?
Sammy.
Okay, Sammy, I'm going to send you a link and let's talk about your experience. Before we do, though, I'm going to get to the other stuff, and then I'll let you know when I'm going to send a link in Telegram to you. All right. So there's other articles about, people making predictions about this stuff and that kind of thing. So I have some interesting things I want to bring up. But before I do, I'd like to know, do you have specific thoughts on this eclipse, Moxie?
I do have specific thoughts.
Okay.
Like, I'd like to say that nothing's going to happen during this, but I feel like they're setting it up to do a false flag.
Oh, you think so?
It feels
Is that your conspiracy theory, Tony?
And then blame it on the eclipse.
Yeah. We have to watch for those kinds of things. Hey, Billy's 3. Yeah, we definitely have to watch for those kinds of things. It will be interesting. I think that day will be busy tracking all the happenings.
Yeah, and April 8th is a kind of special day in this house anyways, because it's my roommate's birthday. So I kind of look forward to it, and then I saw that this eclipse was going to happen on the 8th, and I'm like,
so
interesting.
Are you guys going to then go drive down to watch the eclipse for his birthday?
No.
Oh. That would be kind of fun. That's what I would totally surprise somebody and say, we're going on a road trip.
He's working. So
I'm
working and he's working. So I'll see him at 7:00 in the morning. And that's about it.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Well, there's a couple of things. Something that you guys already know. But I think it will be a good segue into some of the other stuff I want to talk about. But what's interesting is, why did they pick this day? So the CERN is going to test the particle accelerator during the eclipse.
But why?
Right? So that's super curious. Like, why are they planning on doing it during the eclipse? Wouldn't you think a bunch of scientists would want to be watching the eclipse?
Right?
Or
Not
what are
playing
they
with their other toys.
really trying to test?
You have a celestial event happening, and you want to be playing with your CERN.
Well, yeah, I find this really interesting, and they're searching for invisible matter. So how would they know if they found it?
Because it's invisible.
Right. But so, okay. So Carrie and I did a whole bunch of research on CERN, and I think we need to have a follow-up show on that just to talk about CERN, because it's really interesting where it was formed and when it was created. But this was super interesting to me. And one of the things, I think I have another article. Yeah, I have another article that says the same headline. But one of the things that was posted today by Paul Absolute is that physicists capture an elusive 4D ghost in CERN particle accelerator.
Ghost in the
This
machine.
ghost in the machine, that's what he said. Kind of, this was like really interesting. This was posted March 25th. This was a great find by him. And I just like, okay, this stuff is crazy, because now we have news around CERN. They're finding an elusive 4D ghost, ghosts in the machine, and they're testing on during the eclipse. If you look at the CERN logo, it is made up of 3 sixes.
It is indeed. So Sammy said something that is exactly what I've been thinking this whole time. CERN scares me.
Mm.
And it's like, why are you playing with this stuff?
Yeah, why are you?
Like, when they have scientists, defrosting things that come out of glaciers and stuff like that, and they, find these microorganisms that are like really, really detrimental to our health. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. Quoting Monsters Inc. there.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've never watched it.
But like, they're definitely, I feel like they're messing with something they shouldn't be messing with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So their logo is 666. It just makes you think, right? It's like, what are they doing? Last time there was a solar eclipse, I was looking up old news articles, and there was a lot of like pagan celebrations. I was trying to find that for this year, and I couldn't find it. And I'm like, why can't I find that? I may as well keep, like, this is a cool picture. I had this in the intro video. This is inside CERN, or the Hadron Collider. But We the Media reposted someone. Let me cancel this. From Intuition on. Intuition on. All right. So, but this is about CERN, actually. And kind of a funny meme. The lunar eclipse, the solar eclipse, and apocalypse. But there is some interesting information. So the last solar eclipse was in 2017. But CERN launched the White Rabbit collaboration. So, and they recently restarted the Large Hadron Collider. It had been shut down for a couple of years, but yeah, they launched this White Rabbit collaboration, and NASA launched 3 AP-EP rockets into the moon's a Pepe to the moon shadow. According to mythology, a Pepe was an ancient Egyptian spirit embodying evil, darkness, and disorder. Isn't it interesting that they named things after stuff like that, like either Greek gods or evil stuff? So this is the other thing I actually found on my own. This devil comet is reappearing, and it's going to be visible through April. And I actually have an article I'm going to bring up on that. And then DARPA released its 2025 budget, revealing a cyber program called Carcosa, which is the name of an elite pedo temple in True Detective. Look at all these. So I've been seeing all these stories, but they put them all together in this one thing. There's a lot of symbolism with them. So it's kind of crazy. And then Microsoft and OpenAI are partnering to build the Stargate supercomputer data center. Is it possible these initiatives were named to intentionally entice the truth community, or events amplified to create noise? If so, what are they distracting from? Good question. Very good question. Actually, I haven't done this in a while.
Now that is a good question worth pondering.
So this is one of the most amazing posts, and definitely I'm going to repost this today. But I did want to talk about that devil comet, which is crazy that that's coming. Where is my devil comet? Here it is. Yeah. It's going to be a heavenly co-star during the eclipse. And look at how dark they have this article time. Anyway, yeah. It's a 4-minute read, so I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Nothing is done by accident.
What's that?
Nothing is done by accident.
Exactly. So I want to read more about this comet because I feel like there's some biblical stuff happening right now, and I definitely want to talk more about that too. But see, what did I want to show on here? Oh, yeah. So just basically, the comet is visible from Earth's northern hemisphere only during the early evenings. So you have to look towards the west-northwest. And it's going to be visible for most of April. So, yeah, another total eclipse is going to happen in 2044. That will go over the United States. So it's going to be a little while before we have that. But this devil comet it's pretty interesting that that's happening at the same time. So I don't think the powers that be, based on that question from the last intuition as to whether, yes, the way they're naming things, I'm not sure either if that's just trolling us or baiting us. But at the same time, there's a lot of weird things happening at once that is worth talking about.
Absolutely.
So it's very biblical, Kari, very biblical. So speaking of that, one of the things that was posted, this was on a local Cleveland, Ohio news site. So it makes me think of our Brenda Frenda, I renamed Brenda Frenda, by the way, so y'all have to call her Frenda. That's that PFC peanut. Anyway, so they have this article about the upcoming eclipse, talking about the gods of wrath, the ancient folklore of eclipses. So this reminds me of NASA and those other places, like how they name things and what they're putting out there. They're putting out stuff like this. They talk about Greek folklore. And that kind of thing. But they did also talk about the biblical, the gods of wrath. The last time a solar eclipse was over northeast Ohio was 1806. That's pretty interesting. So yes, there are solar eclipses more often, but they don't hit the same spot every time. So I thought this was oh no, this is talking about interesting. So during that year, a Native American woman, so I'm just reading this part for the first time because, oh no, I do remember reading about this. Yes. She predicted that darkness would come over the earth, and they were all wondering how she predicted that. They accused her of witchcraft. But they executed her, and after she was executed, the moon shrouded the sun, and her prediction came true. So, yeah, it's some folklore in there, but the Bible does talk about eclipses, and there are interesting Bible verses about eclipses, and they're making such a big deal about these eclipses. I thought it might be kind of cool to talk about, well, what are some of those Bible verses that are talking about eclipses? So in Isaiah, it says, "For the stars of heaven and the constellations will not flash forth the light. The sun will be dark when it rises, and the moon will not shed its light." Which is interesting because that's what happens in an eclipse. The moon goes completely black because the sun's not shining on it. And Ezekiel, "And when I extinguish you, I will cover the heavens and darken their stars, and will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon will not give its light. Before them, the earth shakes." This is Joel 2:10. This is interesting. "The heavens tremble, and the sun and the moon grow dark, and the stars lose their brightness." And again in Joel, the same chapter, "The sun will be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and awesome day of the Lord comes." And that's not the only book that says almost the exact same thing. And Joel says it for a third time, "The sun and moon grow dark and the stars lose their brightness." And in Matthew and Mark, they say the same thing. It's in Revelation. "After the sixth seal is broken, the sun will become black, and the whole moon became like blood," just like it said in Joel up there. So, yeah, there's quite a few Bible verses with prophecies that talk about eclipses generally. Oh, really, rocker lady? So, whoopsie. Where is that? Did she delete her comment? Okay, where did that comment go? All right, I lost the comment, but she talked about how, oh, here it is. NASA validated the eclipse during the crucifixion. You know, I do remember hearing about this. Man, I should have pulled something up on this. That's a super interesting connection.
That is.
Really good, Sammy. Yeah, that I did hear that there was an eclipse during the crucifixion. And I didn't know NASA confirmed it, though, or validated it. Now I kind of want to look that up. Should we do
a minute?
What?
Wait a minute. You mean science validated something from the Bible?
You know, a lot of scientists believe the Bible is a historical book. So a lot of archaeologists talk of, find biblical artifacts, and a lot of scientists do talk about biblical history. And the thing of it is, you guys, you should watch our show on Noah and the flood and how old is the earth, because a lot of scientists won't even look at artifacts to think, could this have come from biblical times? Could this be proof of a flood? And but there are some scientists that do, and it's really interesting. You guys have to check out that show. After the show, I'll put it in the video's comments. Really good question, Moxie. Wait a minute. Scientists actually did that? Oh my goodness. Okay.
But science.
I know, but science, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, now I want to get to some more interesting stuff because
You have more interesting stuff?
yes. I decided to pull up the Q drops from April 8th. And there's a few interesting ones that I used one of the images from one of these drops in the intro video. Yeah, I wanted to just skim some of these drops. We'll go really quick because there's a lot on April 8th, but I'm definitely gonna highlight just a couple of them. The Castle Rock or Castle Green and Castle Online were all referenced on April 8th. What's that?
Night. Sparrow Red. Didn't we just talk about a red moon?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Oh, Night 4, Sparrow Red. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't look too closely at this particular one. But, let's go through them, guys. Why not? Right? All right. One thing that I found interesting, let's see, which one was it that POTUS was hunkering down? It was one of them. They are trying to start a war. I found kind of interesting, talking about how they're trying to start a war and then chemical attack and coincidence, these people are sick. So that might speak to if they tried to do some kind of false flag or something like that. Here it is. POTUS is hunkering down today on April 8th. Kind of interesting in the Situation Room. Oh my goodness. All right, so there are a lot here, so I think I'm going to scroll up all the way up to the top. There's a lot of talk about John McCain and Obama and Syria, but I'm going to skip past all the Syria stuff, and I am going to get to these. So the last drop that was done on April 8th was drop 3917. And it says, out of order, insert important in a kill box. And do you think spirit cooking was just pretend? So he links off to this Twitter post, and this is 3917. I actually have 3917. Here it is. It links off to this tweet. Of course, I had to pull it from the Wayback Machine, so it takes forever when it's on the Wayback Machine. IET says you got cued, and her picture is taking forever to show up, but I do have her picture. Let me pull up that picture. She basically put words over that said, "Where we go, one we go all," with a picture of this angel. And the angel's in armor, like wearing the armor of God. And also on that drop was this link to here. Did you think spirit cooking was just pretend? So if you think about that gal, Abramovich,
Marina.
Yeah. She's the spirit cooking, like he's like saying here, did you think the spirit cooking was just pretend? And it links off to this cannibal club. The interesting thing is this was posted on April 8th. The quote they have on their front page is, "Whenever a taboo is broken, something good happens, something vitalizing," with this picture of Eve about to eat the apple, going against God, specializing in the preparation of human meat. And who are their customers? Their clientele includes noted filmmakers, intellectuals, celebrities who have embraced the Enlightenment ideals of free expression. Literary figures, performance artists, groundbreaking musicians, they all entertain their guests.
Sammy also says that Marina Abramovich is in the news again. I recently saw a post about her, but I didn't realize that it was something new. But
well, I know I recently posted about her. You talk about that, Sammy, where she was in Amsterdam doing the naked art shows.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I posted about that the other day. I definitely didn't pull it up because I didn't want to give too much energy to this, but I wanted to point out that that drop was on April 8th, and it happened to point to this. And I did actually include this image in my video. And I found that super interesting, that first drop right there. The next drop is about the silent war continuing, and it shows this picture of Henry Kissinger with, I'm not going to pull up this specific picture because it's very blurry, but I found a better version of it. So this is drop 3916 that was also on April 8th. And it's a quote from Kissinger. Do you want to read that, Moxie?
The plan. Today's Americans will be outraged if UN troops entered Los Angeles to restore order. Tomorrow, they will be grateful. This is especially true if they were told there was an outside threat from beyond, whether real or promulgated. That's a weird word. That threatened our very existence. It is then that all peoples of the world would pledge the world leaders to deliver them from this evil. This is one thing every man fears is the unknown. When presented with this scenario, individual rights will be willingly relinquished for the guarantee of their well-being granted to them by their world government.
Can you believe that? Individual rights willingly relinquished for the guarantee of their well-being. And what do they do whenever they implement something new? It's in the name of safety.
And what's funny is that's a quote from 1992.
Yes.
But what did they do to us in COVID?
Yes, it's not just COVID, though. If you think about the Patriot Act.
But that's just the biggest one that most people are going to understand.
Yeah. But they've been slowly chipping away at our rights. Even now, it's the censorship, you know. And Kari says these states of emergency, yes, they have to prepare, but do they need to have because when they sign a state of emergency, that gives them extra powers to do other things. Just like with COVID, it gave them the power to shut things down and that kind of thing. Yes, be prepared and learn from problems that happened in the past, like what Rocker Lady was saying. But, so we are willing to give up our rights in the name of safety. And why are we willing to do that? It's just crazy to me.
Now that is a good question worth pondering.
It really is. Anyway, Kissinger also wrote the book World Order. So it's not a surprise. But let's see. Let's go back to the. Oh, sorry. We don't want to look at Cannibal Club anymore.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. All right. So we covered 39:17, 39:16. I also have 39:15 is kind of interesting. Let's see what I have on here. Oh, yes. And it's just interesting. These are all April 8th drops. So this is a link to a tweet, and I will go to the tweet. But, well, let's just go to the tweet. Basically, Q asks a whole bunch of questions. And it says at the bottom here, the truth will shock the world, and they will regain power by any means necessary. And so this tweet I'll pull up, which it's probably in the Wayback Machine because everybody got censored and suspended from Twitter. There we go. Took a little while to show up. So what are the odds? And it links to 2 articles. And I've got, these are pictures. And because the Wayback Machine takes forever, I downloaded them and I have a copy. So what are the odds? There are 2 things that happened on the exact same day, which was January 15th. The articles of impeachment were delivered to the Senate. And that happened on January 15th. And then what else happened on January 15th? The patient who becomes the first confirmed U.S. case of COVID leaves Wuhan and arrives in the U.S. carrying coronavirus. So they say. But we're talking about, there are no coincidences. They'll do anything to regain power. Definitely, this is called out on April 8th about how COVID was put forth to rig an election, basically. And Q told us ahead of them rigging the election, like we didn't take the warning that, hey, this election's going to get rigged, but it did. So that was another interesting item. The next Q drop is just 39:14. It says the world will soon understand. I've got just the image here. It's of the Bible talking about the armor of God. So I feel like there's a lot of connections, biblical things happening, plus the science, plus just everything. And then another Q drop on that day is Q telling us to read and discern for ourselves, which I think is always a good reminder. And again, 39:11 again, same day, is they will stop nothing to regain power. So this was like a huge warning, highlighted, said more than once. So yeah, I found the Q drops interesting. I'm just like, April 8th's coming up. Why don't I check and see what was going on there? And just having the armor of God item, the angel picture, also highlighted that day, talking about the Cannibal Club, the evil, so like the good versus evil and all of that. And that's, I am not sure. Like, if my theory is, everything's working the way God planned it, that's kind of how I feel. That's my conspiracy theory. I think it's a part of this war of good and evil, and I think a lot of evil people want to usher in the second coming because they think they're going to win. And so they celebrate these biblical events, and I don't think they're trolling us as far as that conspiracy theory goes. I think they really want to use that symbolism in the naming in things. I don't know. What do you think?
I think there's a lot of bad players that want to make it seem like this is the second coming, like this is the end times, that they want to make it look that way so that we get scared.
Yeah, that's true. And just like, it's funny, they call it the end times too. Armageddon, the end times. But really, it's a rebirth and a renewal. A revelation. Revelation is to reveal dark to light. That's what dark to light is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like, there's so much going on. I really want to know, why are they testing the the collider, particle collider? Oh, and the other thing that I read about that is that they are, and then I found a video, so I'll show a quick clip before we close things up. But they are wanting to, it's not good enough for them. They want to build one 3 times as powerful. And the whole CERN thing is dangerous. They're like really messing with
things they don't understand.
Well, yeah, they're trying to play God. They're trying to figure God out. They're doing that with the weather. They're doing it with CERN. Yeah, go ahead.
In my head, every time I see something like that, it's put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
Yeah.
It's just, right? Stop playing with that. Don't touch it. You don't need to do that. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Why?
You sound like
because you can doesn't mean you should.
You sound like you're talking to a 3-year-old.
Right?
That's what the way we need to talk to those people.
It is. It is. That last quote I just said was from Jurassic Park. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Oh yeah, the Jurassic Park with the DNA and cloning dinosaurs, which, by the way, they, scientists don't think dinosaurs walked with man, but I think they did. The Bible talks about beasts, the way it describes the beasts, it sounds right, just like a dinosaur, to be honest with you. That's another show. Actually, we did a show on that. So go watch our How Old is the Earth show. But I'm going to play this clip really quick.
The Large Hadron Collider is the world's biggest atom smasher, but as it turns out, it's not big enough. The European Centre for Particle Research, CERN, is unveiling details of a new particle accelerator today, something 3 times larger and twice as deep.
There are so many outstanding questions in fundamental physics today and in our knowledge of the universe, its structure and its evolution, for which we have no answer. And so we need more powerful instruments to be able to addressing those questions.
No.
They need more powerful instruments, don't you know?
No, there are some things you do not need to know. No.
You're so oh my gosh. Oh, in God we trust. Hey, hello, in God we trust. I didn't even know you were on here. Who's in God we trust again?
Natalie.
Sorry. You are spot on, Nevs and Moxie. It's not the end times. I believe that they're trying to rush ushering in the Antichrist. But I do believe we're living in biblical times. It definitely feels biblical. The acceleration of evil is, you can feel it. You can feel it. I can feel it. I don't know. But you're hilarious. Definitely talk to the evil ones like they're 3-year-olds. That is our advice.
I think it will work.
I think it might work. Oh my goodness. Natalie, that's that is so true. Definitely so true. So, do you have any closing thoughts? Because that's all I had. I really wanted to make sure I talked about Q and CERN.
I think that CERN scares the crap out of me.
It does. Nothing should scare you. Nothing. Nothing man does should scare you.
There's a lot of things that scare me that man does.
It's true, but once you wake up, you're like calm about these things for some odd reason. I don't know. It's interesting.
I'm awake, but I see that and I just don't want them to touch it anymore. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because it feels like a toddler that wants to touch everything. And I'm just like, no, you can't. Don't do that.
You can't do that. Oh my gosh.
Consider and leave them at home.
Leave them at home. All right. So let's see. We've got election results. It looks like Rhode Island. How many states are tonight? Oh, Trump won. So I'll just share this real quick. Oops, I've got the wrong thing. You've got my, here, let me paste. Trump won, which we knew that would happen, 78.2%. I can't believe, why are people voting for Nikki Haley? And why is Ron DeSantis still on there when he dropped out?
Vivek was on there still when I voted.
Really?
He was, like, every single one was on there still. I meant to take a picture, but then I just wanted to get the heck out of there. But no, there was like 5 or 6 names on the primary for the Republican primary.
Interesting. Yeah. So
I'm
yeah.
interested in what happened with the referendum, though.
What's
because
that?
there was a referendum on the Wisconsin primary about outside money and who can be involved in the elections. And I got text messages telling me to vote no to both of them.
Oh, here it is. Oh, it passed. Oh, it's not done yet though.
Good. We want it.
Oh, you do want?
Yes.
Oh, you want to prohibit. Okay, I'm reading it the opposite way.
Yes.
Prohibit,
and they worded it. They do this on purpose. They word it really, really weird so that if you're not paying attention, you don't understand what you're voting for.
Yeah, you know what? They do that when they ask questions in polls too. So, you know.
We want it to be yes for both of them.
Is there 2 of them? Oh, limit election conduct to election officials. All right. So far, only 5% is in. Let's keep track of this. I'm definitely going to post this later as to how this turned out. I wonder if other states have the same thing. That's interesting. Good call out. Rocker Lady, put on the full armor of God. Be prepared and trust in God to do what he needs to ensure his people are taken care of. I couldn't have said it better myself. I'm sorry. I was going to pull you into the podcast, but we're going on an hour. So I think I'm not going to, but you know, I might be interested in just chatting with you about your story and we could maybe record it and share that. Sorry, we ran out of time, but definitely pay attention to what's going on in the eclipse. If you are in the pathway, I hope you get an opportunity to witness it because it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity if it goes over you. Unless it's not a once in a lifetime opportunity if you go and drive to all the eclipses, you know, but it's pretty cool. And definitely feels biblical, a lot going on. keep yourself safe because there is stuff that happens during the eclipse. I guess per Rocker Lady's experience, stuff happens. Just don't have fear. So.
Do you still have those Q posts?
I do.
Could you pull those up for me a second?
I certainly can.
Great,
Which
thanks.
one would you? Oh, I didn't. Oh. Oh my gosh, there's one I forgot to.
Is it the JFK one, the start of it?
No, it was this the POTUS hunkering down, this link. Before I get to the JFK one, okay, we were gonna end, but we're not. This file was linked. And Q posted old to new as the world turns. And it links to this. This is the POTUS is hunkering down. I completely missed this one. This is Earth Satellite Program.
From 1956.
Yes, and he linked it on April 8th. The Q drop was April 8th. So an agency decision has been reached establishing CSI as the focal point on the Earth Satellite Program. The AD has directed the staff supervision of the program will be the responsibility of the DAD/C with substantive responsibility assigned to guided missiles. Anyway, it's about Earth Satellite Program. On April 8th, he posted it. What was the other drop you wanted me to pull up? This one was super interesting. I can't believe I missed this one.
Right?
Okay. What was it?
On the 17th of January there.
Oh, 17. Okay, which one?
Down, please.
Do you have the drop number?
I don't, but I'll know it when I see it.
Okay.
Go.
Go way down? Is there an image?
No. Come on.
A lot of John McCain stuff. Syria. Does it say JFK or John
It's
Kennedy?
the 1999 start of it. And then it ends with enjoy the show.
This?
That one right there. So.
Oh, POTUS and JFK Jr.
Relationship, plane crash, 1999, the start. And now it says enjoy the show. They're selling those glasses that look like 3D glasses.
Oh, the 3D glasses for...
They're selling them everywhere. I saw them at Menards. I took a picture of them last time that I went.
Yeah.
So that you can watch the eclipse.
Yeah, one of my articles that I brought up had a picture with people in glasses. Which one
and I just connected that in my head. Enjoy the show.
Interesting. Sorry,
so that's just where my brain just went.
No, that's really interesting. Yeah, so let's go to so what Moxie is referring to, I'll just are these solar glasses that look like you're watching a 3D movie. So look at those cute kids. So sweet. It's like it could be such a nice, wholesome, fun event for kids. Let's make it that way, huh?
Yes.
But yeah, that's a good call out. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show, guys.
We're just missing popcorn now.
Oh, I know. Rocker Lady said those aren't 3D. I get it. I know. But the reference that we were referring to is that the solar glasses look like when you put 3D glasses on. And that's why we brought
the old school ones with one blue and one red.
And the link, what I showed was not 3D glasses. but enjoy the show. She's connecting the dots too. They look like 3D. Does that make sense,
This is
Rocket
how
Lady?
my brain works.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Well, I think we found some interesting things related to the eclipse. Let's watch and see what happens. I bet there's going to be even more news ahead of the eclipse, and I'll definitely post some of these articles that I hadn't posted yet. I want to forward that We the Media one, that Intuition on, was really good. There's a lot of, putting everything in one spot. It's like, whoa, when you look at it. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. And Moxie, thanks for joining, because I didn't think you were going to join us tonight. So
I know, I was so confused. I'm like, why does she think I'm not coming?
well, you said you weren't able to go vote during work, and that you
Right?
weren't feeling
But then
good.
I still made it to vote and
Good.
made sure it all happened. I didn't leave work on time like I wanted to.
Oh my
But
goodness. All right, guys. Well, have a good night. And this Saturday we'll I think we're gonna do a meme wars, and I'll have my show on early to talk about the kiddos and social media. So please like this video. If you liked it, share it with your friends and family. Give us a thumbs up so more people can see it. And we love you and appreciate you. Thanks. Oh, and let me just add this for good measure, because I think this show was worth having this. Because that's what's going to happen to all the evil ones. All right. Have a good night. Love you guys. Bye.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright